Improving your seated toe touch is a great way of improving someone's low back discomfort if they're always dealing with a nagging stiffness and tightness in the low back SI area around L5, S1. Many of these individuals lack the ability to perform a seated toe touch with the knees fairly straight, 5 degrees knee bend or under, but you do not need to hyperextend the knee or lock the knee out either when performing a seated toe touch or a standing toe touch for that matter. But it's important to recognize that your standing toe touch could be very different than what your seated toe touch is, simply because of the assist that gravity performs to allow your torso to drop deeper into the stretch in the standing position versus the seated position. There is very minimal leverage from gravity. So if you're trying to improve the seated toe touch, the mistake that I see people make is endlessly trying to perform the seated toe touch with no success or no sign of progress because they simply can't get their torso far enough over the legs to get a deeper and deeper stretch. So the way we accomplish this is by providing assist. Now this could be through a band assisting you deeper into the seated toe touch, but again, the intensity of that stretch may be too high for people to hold for an extended period of time. We're talking at minimum 30 seconds, upward to a minute is pretty common. Sometimes even as long as 3 minutes, we need to go towards a maximum holding this position. So if you can't comfortably hang out in the seated toe touch position, then there's no sense of performing it for an extended period of time because you're just not going to feel comfortable not being able to relax deeper and deeper into the stretch. So a better starting place would be in standing. Again, soft knee. Don't feel like you need to lock the knee out, but we don't want a large knee bend into the knees either. And then we're going to put an implement on the ground. So as far as you can lower your belly button down towards your thighs, look with your head between the legs to help drive the spine down and round a little bit more. You can use that implement to kind of gently, I want to re-emphasize gently, pull yourself deeper into that stretch position. And again, it's easier to think about pulling yourself down into this position as opposed to trying to drive your knees back. And that's where I find people struggle and actually develop pain when they perform the toe touch, is because they try to aggressively straighten their knees and forcefully lock their knees out. That's where you can run into problems with hamstring strains, hamstring pulls, low back pulls. Again, it's better to keep a soft knee, small amount of knee bend, and gradually work yourself deeper and deeper into the stretch to where you can start touching your toes and using leverage by hooking your hand underneath the toe to pull yourself again deeper into that stretch. And you may even eventually elevate yourself up off the ground to allow yourself to get deeper and deeper into that stretch position so you can comfortably and easily touch your toes and get even close to almost palming the floor, or at least getting your knuckles to the floor in a closed fist toe touch position. Once you can do that, then most people are comfortable performing the assisted toe touch for an extended period of time to hold that stretch position, and you can continue working on your forward fold more and more in the seated toe touch position. But it is important that you can touch your toes with the knees fairly straight, both in standing and in the seated position, for people who deal with chronic low back stiffness and tightness, as well as SI stiffness and tightness. Now this is just half the equation. The other half is developing some hip flexor strength so you can further pull yourself into that deep hip flexed position. The way we work on this is a few exercises that, in my opinion, work best are, number one, sit-ups without any hand assist. We're not having anybody hold the feet down. You're working on using your abdomen to bring your belly button to the thighs without using momentum, without using your hip flexors as an assist. We want to use the abdominal strength to compress the torso to your thighs. So that's a great exercise to build closing angle strength to help your toe touch out. The next exercise is a little bit more hip flexor oriented. This is a seated toe touch leg lift. And this, again, works on that closing angle, the ability to bring your thigh towards your chest. We can do this in the seated position. And now instead of trying to go deeper and deeper into the stretch position, we're trying to actively keep our legs straight and lift it up towards our chest and hold that for 5 to 10 seconds. Repeat for anywhere from 10 reps, 2 to 3 sets. And you do this in conjunction with your stretching. So you work on stretching to improve your length, and then you work on strengthening the closing angle.